I want to talk to someone who is fighting a battle that nobody can see. Not the kind of tired that sleep fixes. The kind of tired that lives in your bones, where the morning alarm goes off and instead of getting up, you just lie there, staring at the ceiling, running a calculation in your head, trying to find one good reason to move. And some mornings, the calculation comes up empty. That is not laziness. That is not weakness. That is a weight that has a name, and that name is depression. And it is one of the most misunderstood, most lonely, most invisible battles a human being can fight. I received a message from a man named Marcus. He said, "I haven't told anyone, but I haven't wanted to get out of bed in 4 months. I go through the motions at work. I come home. I stare at the wall. I don't feel sad exactly. I just don't feel anything. Your music is one of the only things that makes me feel something. Please don't stop, Marcus. I hear you, and I am not stopping." If you are in that place right now, this song is for you. And after it ends, please talk to someone, a friend, a counselor, a crisis line. You do not have to carry this alone. This is for the ones fighting the invisible war. I can't get up! The alarm went off at 7 like it always does. I watch the ceiling fan go round and round. I made a list of reasons I should move today, but every reason felt too far from the ground. I've been performing life for all the people who depend on me to show up and be fine. But somewhere in the performance I start feeling, and I can't remember when I crossed that line. It isn't sadness. Sadness has a reason. This is something that has swallowed reason whole. It's the absence of the wanting and the feeling. It's a silence living where there used to be. So I can't get up today, not the way I used to. I can't get up today, but I'm still here. That counts for something too. I'm fighting wars and nobody around me sees, carrying weight that brings me to my knees. I can't get up the way I used to, but I refuse to stay down. I refuse to stay down. I've tried the things they say will fix the darkness, the exercise, the gratitude, the lists. Some days they move the needle just a fraction. Some days the darkness wanes before I get to this. I've worn the smile so long my face remembers, but shape a fine without the feeling there. And I am tired of pretending for the comfort of people who don't know how much I bear. But something in me hasn't quit completely. Some ember underneath the ash still glows, and that small stubborn light keeps pulling at me, reminding me that this is not how my story goes. I can't get up today, not the way I used to. I can't get up today, but I'm still here. That counts for something too. I'm fighting wars and nobody around me safe enough to tell the truth to. I say the words out loud for the first time. I make the appointment that I've been avoiding and step into the help I've been denied. I learn that asking is not losing ground, that weakness is the lie that darkness sells, and every single morning that I choose to fight is a morning I am saving myself. I couldn't get up for the longest time, but I'm still here and I'm still in this fight. Every morning that I choose to try again, this proof to darkness haven't won this. I am getting up slowly, but I'm rising. I am getting up one small step at a time. I couldn't get up the way I used to, but I found a different way to rise, a different way to rise. And I am rising. Marcus, and everyone lying in that bed right now, the fact that you're still here is not nothing. It is everything. Depression lies. It tells you nothing will change. It tells you this is just who you are now, and it's wrong. Please, talk to someone today. A friend, a therapist, a crisis line. You do not have to explain it perfectly. You just have to say, I am not okay. 3 words, that's all. You survived every hard morning so far. This one too. Get up slowly. That's enough. You're proud of you for still being here. This one is for a very specific person. Someone who, from the outside, has no reason to feel the way they feel. You have a job, maybe a good one. You have people who love you, a roof, food, a life that looks perfectly fine in every photo. And you sit in the middle of all of it and feel absolutely nothing, empty, hollow. Like you were watching your own life through glass. And the worst part is the guilt, because you know people have it harder. You know you should be grateful. And so you add shame on top of the emptiness and wonder what is fundamentally wrong with you that you cannot just be happy with what you have. Nothing is wrong with you. Existential emptiness does not require a reason. It is not ingratitude. It is not selfishness. It is a signal that something deeper is asking to be addressed. This song is for the ones who have everything and feel nothing. Everything and nothing. I have a life that looks exactly right on paper, the kind that other people say they want. I smile at all the right occasions. I perform contentment like I was taught. But when the house gets quiet late at evening and everyone is gone to their own rest, I sit inside the silence of my habit and feel the hollow pressing on my chest. I should be grateful, and I am, I think, but gratitude and emptiness can coexist. And I'm tired of pretending that the fullness of everything I have fills up what's missed. I have everything, feel like nothing. I have all I need and still I know I have all the right ingredients for it. Somewhere lost the flavor of becoming. This is not been filling up the calendar with motion, thinking busy was the cure for feeling bare. But activity without authentic meaning is just noise that proves that nobody's there. I've achieved the things I thought would make it better, crossed the finish line that thought would bring the peace. It stood there in the moment of arrival, waiting for the feeling that refused to come. So I'm done pretending purpose is a byproduct of achievement in accumulation's race. I'm asking harder questions in the quiet about the meaning of the life I'm trying to face. I have everything and feel I'm nothing. I have all I need and still I'm none. I have all the right ingredients for living, but somewhere lost the flavor of becoming. This is not a crisis with a name I know. It's a quiet kind of drowning in the undertow. I have everything, I feel like nothing, and I'm finally saying it out loud. So I strip away the layers of the performance and sit with what is actually here. I find the thing that makes me lose the time and not the thing that earns approval or a career. I invest in depth of French and bogus surface. I find a counselor to help me search inside. And slowly in the excavation of the empty, I find something worth protecting deep inside. Was the truest day I've known, into something I never would have found if I'd stayed comfortable and home. I walked into the emptiness with open hands and found the meaning hiding underneath the plans. I had everything and found what mattered, and now I'm living, not just going through. Living fully true. If you have everything, feel nothing. That feeling is not ingratitude. It is an invitation to stop building outward and start going inward. To stop performing a life and start living one. I receive messages every week from people living this exact silence. Successful, provided for, and completely hollow. Leave a comment below tonight. Tell me what the emptiness feels like for you. Tell me what you're searching for underneath it all. This community holds space for every honest word. You will be heard here. Drop your comment. We are listening. There is a specific kind of depression that nobody prepares you for. The kind that comes after the loss. After the diagnosis, after the divorce, after the accident, after the thing that divided your life into before and after. One day you were one person, and then something happened, and the person you were before that thing, you haven't been able to find them since. A woman named Sandra wrote to me. She said, 2 years ago I lost my son. I haven't been the same person since. I go through the days, but I'm not really in them. The person I was before, she's gone. And I don't know if she's coming back. I found your music in the middle of the night when I couldn't sleep. I played it on repeat until morning. Something shifted. I don't know what, but something shifted. Sandra, I am so deeply sorry for what you carry. And I am honored that the music found you in that moment. For everyone who has been divided by a before and after, the person you were is not gone, they are being rebuilt. Slowly, differently, but rebuilt. This song is for everyone living in the after. Since everything changed, I keep a photo from the life I had before, and my eyes look like they recognize the world. I've been trying to get back to who that person was, but the road back has completely come unfurled. I move through all the days like I'm underwater. Everything is slower, heavier far, and the person in the mirror in the morning looks familiar, but I don't know who you are. Since everything changed, I've been someone else. Since everything changed, I've been searching for myself in the ruins of the after of the thing I can't undo, trying to remember what it felt like to feel true. Since everything changed, I've been lost in the after. Since everything changed, I forgot how to feel. Since everything changed, I've been searching for morning in a night that feels permanent and real. But I am still here, and still hear me something. Still hear me, the story isn't finished yet. Since everything changed, I am slowly changing into someone I haven't fully met. I've been craving things that don't have fuels, the version of my life I thought I'd live, the person that I was before the breaking, and the future I no longer have to give. The grief without a ritual is heavy. It sits in you without a place to land, and I've been carrying it in every silence, without the language or the place to understand. I find a grief counselor, a group, a witness, someone who can hold the weight of what I've lost. I stop pretending that the timeline others offer is the timeline healing comes at any cost. I mark the small progressions, not the leaping. One conversation, one morning, one meal. And I remind myself that broken things can function, and functioning is sometimes how we heal.
Since everything changed,
I've been finding myself slowly.
since everything changed,
I've been learning to feel.
since everything changed,
I've been moving toward morning, even when the night felt too permanent and real. I am still here, and still here means everything. Still here means the story has more pages left.
since everything changed,
I've changed into someone who knows how to carry what they've been given, and still choose to live. Still choose to live. Sandra, and everyone living in the after. The person you were before is not gone. They are being transformed. Grief is not the end of your story. It is the most honest chapter. And the most honest chapters always lead somewhere real. You are allowed to be different now. You are allowed to take as long as you need. You are allowed to not be okay. And you are allowed, when you are ready, to find that life is still worth living. Even now, even changed, even after, especially after. I want to talk about the most dangerous kind of depression. The invisible kind, the high-functioning kind. The kind where you show up to work, you laugh at the right moments, you post the photos, you answer the text, and absolutely nobody knows that inside you are barely surviving. This is the person who is voted most likely to be fine, the strong one. The one everyone else leans on, the one who has become so good at performing okay that even the people closest to you have no idea. A young woman named Priya sent me a message that I have never forgotten. She said, "I have been secretly depressed for 3 years. Nobody knows, not my family, not my friends, not my coworker who sits 2 feet away from me. Every day I smile and joke and seem completely fine. And then I go home and I sit in the dark. I found your music and I cried for the first time in months. I think I needed someone to see me, even if that someone is a song. Priya,
I see you.
and I need you to let someone else see you too. The performance is costing you everything. You are worth being known even in this, especially in this. This is for the ones smiling through the darkness, smiling on the outside. I've gotten really good at being fine. The performance starts before I open my eyes. I pick the face that matches what they need from me and wear it like a costume and a prize. I laugh the loudest at the lunch table. I'm the first one with a reason to stay late, and nobody sitting in that room beside me knows I'm barely making it to 8. And I've been doing this for long enough that I forget which one is really me. The one who's functioning and seemingly together, or the one dissolving in the dark unseen. Smiling on the outside, disappearing on the inside, laughing in the daylight, drowning when the lights go. I have mastered the performance of existing, while the real me has been slowly fading out. Smiling on the outside, but I cannot keep this up. I need someone to see through the smile. I need someone to ask if I'm enough. The irony of being the strong one for everyone is that nobody thinks to check on you. They bring you all the broken pieces to hold and never ask about the pieces you've been holding through. And I have held so much for so long that I can't feel the weight of my own anymore. I've outsourced all my feelings to the service of others and left nothing for the person at the core. But the performance has a cost that's compounding, and the interest due is more than I can pay. And something in me knows that if I don't show someone the real version, I may lose her anyway. Smiling on the outside, disappearing on the inside, laughing in the daylight, drowning when the lights go. I have mastered the performance of existing, while the real me has been slowly fading out. Smiling on the outside, but I cannot keep this up. alone. I find the professional that I deserve. I stop performing for the people who need me strong. I let myself be held instead of holding, and discover I was never meant to last this long alone. I build a life where I am also tending, where my realness is as welcome as my strength. And I retire the deformance of the fine one and introduce the world to me at length. I was smiling on the outside, but I chose to show the inside. I stopped laughing just for daylight and said, help me when the lights went out. I had mastered the performance of existing, but the real me that's been worth fighting for all along. Done smiling just for outside, and finally enough, I was seen through the smile, and the real me was more than enough. More than enough. Priya, you were seen, and everything you were hiding was not too much. It was just too heavy for one person to carry alone. I received so many messages from the strong ones, the ones nobody checks on, the ones holding everything together for everyone else, the ones smiling through pain that would break most people. I want to hear from you tonight. Leave a comment below. You don't have to explain everything. You can just say, I'm one of these people, and we will know. And we will pray this community sees the ones behind the smiles. Drop your comments, take the mask off just for tonight. You are safe here, and you are so much more than the performance. So much more. Smiling on the outside.